So, that's it for the 20th anniversary CMC. Have you had a good time? Yes. Always wanted to do panto. Well, I say that's it, but of course it's never quite over until we have the last word. And this year, the last word goes to a YouTube phenomenon who's a positive influencer. But first, some thank yous. Bear with me. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. Let's start with the CMC sponsors and supporters, 60 of them in total, including our patron sponsors. All of our sponsors provide the fuel on which the conference runs. And a big thank you to Cake for sponsoring the last word. Now, here's how it gets made. There's a core team who work on the CMC all year round. Kathy, Greg, Lauren, Jackie, Claire and Joe. Plus the people who return every year, Matt, Darren, Diane, Marlin, Rachel, Joe, Eve, Amy, Josie, Keith, Curtis, Patrick, Dean, Jake, Dan and Hugh. Yes. Then there's the advisory committee who take on sessions and sometimes strands of content, gathering groups of people to help. So for the strands, let's thank Jackie Edwards, who ran the team that produced the Commissioner Conversations and a series of international Commissioner videos. The same for Understanding Kids, organised by Vicky O'Malley, and Cedric Petitpas and Chris Rose for the Keynotes team. Thank you to Olivia Dickinson and the Inclusivity Now group, Alison Stewart for the Art of videos and sessions, and Matt Bowen, who ran the Changemaker team. When I practiced that earlier, I kept saying Matt Bowen, who rang the Changemaker team. He probably did ring them, but he also ran them. In fact, this year's CMC produced 40 videos, all of which are on our YouTube channel, free for everyone to watch. And within a couple of days, all the content that we've seen and heard here will also be available. So if you missed anything because maybe you were in the bar, you can catch up. A special shout out to the producers who made those videos and to all of the session producers and execs who created the content for the last 2 days here in Sheffield. This year, we are particularly proud of Get In and Get On, the programme that helps people find their way into the industry. Louise Bucknell and her team did an amazing job staging a webinar and a series of videos, which we'll continue to add to so that it's a growing resource for newcomers. Special thanks to Sandy Nutkins, who composed our music, Kids Industries and DM Consulting, who provided the prizes for the pitch competition, DDA, who run our press office. Reporting the conference is down to Anthony and Ahmed, and Lorna, who organises and edits the bloggers. Thank you very much to all of them. And keeping the best till last, a massive CMC thank you to our student volunteers. They have been magnificent. All of them volunteers, all of them invaluable. And like you, they make the CMC the best it can be. Thank you for coming, for sharing, and for keeping it lively and relevant. So, that's the last from me this year, but not the last word. As I said, that belongs to a YouTube sensation. Jaime Amor is the world's biggest yoga instructor. She presents and subtly instructs and encourages on her YouTube channel, Cosmic Kids. She started her career as an actor and children's entertainer, then retrained as a yoga teacher. Seeing the opportunity in online video, she began dressing up as some of children's most beloved characters to teach yoga. She's now watched in classrooms up and down the country and has 1.5 million subscribers to her channel. But it wouldn't be the last word at CMC if it was just words. So today, while she reveals the magic behind her success, we may encounter some surprises along the way. So, chin up, straight backs, and please enjoy the last word from Jaime Amor.
Still clapping. It's okay. You can stop clapping. It's quite long, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Oh, people always say, I wish I could bottle what you do. So I decided I would use today to do just that and bottle what I do so anyone can use it. But before I do, first let me share what I do and therefore if it's worth bottling. So I make videos for kids. I tell stories using yoga poses. It's called Cosmic Kids Yoga. The idea is the kids copy the moves following me doing the yoga poses whilst enjoying a story. That's called a yoga adventure. We're coming up to 500 million views now on YouTube, and we're used in around 200,000 classrooms each week. So people always say, how do you do it? How do you drive such high engagement? Well, it isn't the production. No. As you can see, here we are, February 2012, our first ever shoot, filming what is still one of our most watched videos every month. Squish the fish. It's humble beginnings. There we have the quiz machine next to me, yeah, and we have the KP nuts on a little bit of card behind the bar. I don't know if there's one of them naked ladies behind it, but I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty homespun as far as production is concerned, and it hasn't really changed much since then. We still just use 2 cameras, one wide, one close, and we generally use a colourful 3D world with a small amount of animation. So I think the heart of its success is engagement. And that doesn't cost anything. That's free. It's about how I get the kids taking part, how I connect with them so they care deeply about what we're doing together. I call it fairy dust. Fairy dust is what I call my special recipe for engagement. And I'm going to talk you through the ingredients of fairy dust over the next few minutes. So fairy dust is available to all. Fairy dust is free, and fairy dust is super practical. It doesn't require creative brilliance to access it. And I believe it invites kids to lean forward, to stand up even, to do a downward dog, to dance around like a disco carrot, or even lie down on the floor, find some calm and relax. In a world of short-form, viral, dopamine-feeding video content that shortens attention spans, I believe we need fairy dust more than ever. In fact, I think it's our superpower to help us counter the low-nourishment junk video content that's all over social media, which younger and younger kids are drawn to. Fairy dust is a mix of ingredients which allow us to hold kids' focus, lengthen attention spans, and get them taking part. It gives us the opportunity to get them moving, playing, trying things, learning, doing, growing. And I'm going to take you through the ingredients of fairy dust today. So I first concocted my recipe of fairy dust back in 2006 when I became a professional kids' party entertainer. Professional is the word here, yeah. I was being paid actual proper money to show up and be engaging and do something engaging with 30 children at a children's party. This was high stakes. Yeah, there was the risk of being upstaged by the bouncy castle in the garden. And there was a face painter in the kitchen diner. And all the parents were sticking around to drink Prosecco and get progressively louder in the same space where I was dressed as a fairy with the 30 kids, all for a princely sum of £180. £180! I mean, proper money, like rich London prices. So I dug deep in advance of that party, and I came up with what I thought would hit all the marks to arrest all 30 kids' attention and do my job well and earn that £180. It was my first go at creating fairy dust. So, bit of a question. Is it anyone's actual real birthday today?
Mine tomorrow.
Sorry, hang on, I can't see you, but I am coming. I am coming. Oh, wow. Ah, hello. Hello. What's your name?
My name's Joe.
Joe. Happy birthday, Joe. Here's a balloon. Oh, Joe. Joe, it's your 6th birthday. How amazing is that? Can we all say happy birthday, Joe? Happy birthday, Joe. Joe, it's just brilliant that all of us are here today to help you celebrate what is just a really special day and make it the best day ever. But before we dive into the fun, a little bit of news. It's well known, Joe, that you're really special. And so is everyone here, because these are all your lovely friends. The fact is you've got loads of birthday superpowers. Yeah, really strong ones, really potent ones. In fact, all of you do because of Joe. Yeah, because you're his friends. Now, because of this, here's the thing, a witch is going to be coming to your party today. She really wants to steal your birthday superpowers. And not only yours, Joe, she wants everybody else's as well. And she's going to do this by trying to cast a spell on all of us, getting us to do these 5 moves. And when we don't know what these 5 moves are, we freeze. We're like, I don't know. And that's when she swoops in and she gets those birthday superpowers. It's pretty dangerous. It's pretty dangerous stuff. But don't worry, don't panic, because we have a way of stopping her. You see, my friends at the Fairy Bureau of Investigation have found out, Joe, what those 5 moves are. Yay! Yay! And guess what? If we learn those 5 moves, and we do those 5 moves when she asks us, she won't be expecting us to know, but we will. And when we do, she will get weaker and weaker and weaker until she melts into a big puddle of goo on the floor. Yeah, ugh. So, how about it? How about we learn? Joe, are you up for this? You don't have to get up. You don't have to get up.
If I can sit here, that's fine.
You can do as you want because you are the birthday boy. Yes, you are. Okay, so we're going to learn the 5 special moves. Joe is going to relax, although, Joe, you might want to join in because she will be after those birthday superpowers, unless you move. So let's go through these moves together now. The first move we're going to learn is called the witch's cat. You can stay in your seats. I'm not getting you doing cat pose here. That would be really awkward. So in your seat, hands on your knees. That's it. So uncross the legs, that helps. You're going to arch your back and look right into your tummy, and you're going to make an angry cat sound. Lovely. Then you're going to tilt your back, lift your chest to the sky, look up to the ceiling, and you're going to make a happy cat sound. Meow. Oh, and relax your backs. That is the witch's cat. Do you think you can remember that? Yes, thank you very much. Okay, are you ready for the second move? Second move, okay, is cauldrons. I am going to ask you to stand up now. Sorry. Have you come to stand, but you don't need to move? You can just take your feet a little bit wider, everyone. That's it. I want you to bend your knees a little bit. Imagine you've got a big spoon, and it's in your cauldron. And it's steaming, and you're saying the words, habble, babble, havel, vavel, habble, vavel, havel, vavel. Oh, yes. So that's move number 2. You've got your witch's cat, you've got your cauldrons. Are you ready for move number 3? Yeah. Okay, move number 3 is witch's party time. For this, you're going to dance around in a little circle on the spot. Just a little jig. And I'd love to hear a witchy cackle. That is witch's party time. Amazing. Are you ready for move number 4? Okay, witches on fire. For this, you're going to bend down deep. Hands on your knees. After 3, you're going to reach your arms in the air and scream. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lovely. And move number 5. You ready for that? Yes. Okay, broomsticks. Bring your feet together. Reach your arms up above your head. Lean over one way and go whoosh. And the other way and go whoosh. Oh, yes. Lower those arms. So, Joe, can you remember all 5 of those? Can you and all of your friends remember them? Maybe that's the way of thinking about it. You've got your witch's cat, yes? Yes. Cauldrons, yes? Yes. Witch's party time? Yes. Witches on fire? And broomsticks, yes? Okay, she's going to be here any second. Oh, did you feel that? There was just a little, like a little temperature change. Like a little chill. Oh, can you smell it? Smell. Yeah, it's a quite burning smell. Like a ripe smell. Witchy smell. Oh, hang on, she's here.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. Oh, you look a bit shocked and surprised. Well, don't you worry. Oh, I can just taste the delicious, yummy birthday superpowers coming off of you. How I'd love to take some with me today. Don't worry, I've just got a little spelly welly to say. I'll say that, you won't know what to do, and then everyone will be fine. So, let's get on with it. Skippity splat, skippity splat. Let me see the witch's cat. Oh. What are they doing? How do they know this move? Oh, is it a bit hot? Oh, my word. Well, that's just fine. That could have just been a lucky guess, I think. Well, let's see if you know the next move. You won't know this. Furry fronds, stirring cauldrons. What's happening? Oh, this is extraordinary. Oh, I feel a bit dizzy. Oh, dearie me. Well, I will get you next time. Let's see. Here we are. Slurpy slime. Dance, which is party time. Oh, no. This is awful. Oh, I feel a bit dizzy. Oh, well, I've got some more chances left, haven't I? Okay. Perky, pooky, popsicle, pyre. It's time to see the witches on fire. How could you know? Oh, I'm feeling rather weak and rather dizzy. My last opportunity. I can do it. Bobbling biscuits. My final chance. Broomsticks.
Oh dear. Well, that's a bit awkward. Oh dear. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Are you okay? Everyone all right? I don't know what. Sorry, I just went to sleep for a bit there. So, did the witch come?
Yes.
Did you do the moves?
Yes.
Joe, have you still got all of your birthday superpowers? Is everyone else feeling okay with their birthday superpowers? Wow, well, you did it. You saved the birthday superpowers. Give yourselves a great big clap. Oh, wow, everyone, that was amazing. That right there, that witch story that I would do at a kid's party was the seed of where Cosmic Kids came from. The blend of storytelling and movement, plus all of the ingredients that you get in fairy dust. And I'm going to take you through the ingredients of fairy dust one by one. We're going to actually make it, Blue Peter style right now. So, let's get going. Our first ingredient in this lovely fairy dust is connection. Ta-da! So the shows that engaged me most as a kid were the ones that looked right at me, straight down the camera lens, like they were talking to me. From Floella Benjamin to Tony Hart to Rod Hull, they all looked right at me and spoke directly to me like it was just the two of us. I was in their gang, we were together. I wasn't aware that there were any other kids watching, and they were live and in the moment as far as I was concerned. At Cosmic Kids, we call this the pipe. Now, it comes down to how kids make sense of what they see on a screen. They don't really understand that several months ago, someone stood in a studio and they recorded and produced a show which was then broadcast or uploaded. That's not really within a young child's comprehension. They don't really get, therefore, because they don't get time yet necessarily, how a video gets made. That's quite hard to wrap your head round. This came home to me when I went to visit a school, a primary school, and I was actually there to teach yoga with the older kids, the year 5s and 6s. I was in the staff room, and the reception teacher popped her head in and said, "Would you mind coming and saying hello to the reception kids? We love Cosmic Kids, and we've just been doing Frank the Frog." Well, yeah, of course. So I followed her in, went into the reception room, and there all the kids were, sat on the carpet. I was on the whiteboard, frozen in Frank the Frog. And as I walk in, the kids just look at me, and they're totally bemused. Like their teacher's just done some weird voodoo or something, and I've just popped up. And one little boy, he gets up, and he comes over to me, and he points at me, and he says, "How are you here?" And then he goes to the whiteboard, and here at the same time. He was totally perplexed, confused. Of course he was. He basically thought I lived in the whiteboard and that when the teacher put me on, there I was, ready to do yoga, to take them on an adventure that mattered, get them moving. So what was happening right now? So that little boy seeing me made him realise, I don't know what's going on. And that tool of looking down the camera lens is clearly something that really gets kids. So there I was at the school, and I then tried to explain what a video is to the kids. And I'm like, right, okay, well, how do I get through this? I'll explain what a video is, and I'll explain how it got on your whiteboard. And the glaze that came over their little faces, as it just was so beyond their comprehension in that moment. I'll never forget it. It's beyond a 4 and a 5-year-old. When kids meet me in real life, they often have this confused, slightly suspicious look. That is what I'm talking about. The side eye. Like, what is going on? They'll then explain to me that I live in their mum's laptop, and that when they turn the laptop on, I'm there and I do yoga with them. And they're looking at me and I'm looking at them. So it's like we can see each other doing this yoga. So when they meet me in real life, they're really confused. So that simple tool of looking straight down the camera lens, straight at the one child who's on the other side, is an engagement tool. I'm calling it connection, or the pipe, that goes in our fairy dust. Here we go. First ingredient, tick. So our next ingredient that goes in the fairy dust is jeopardy. This magnificent woman is Carol Lee Scott from the show Emu's World, playing the role of... Yes, Grotbags. I loved Rod and Emu and all the kids at the Pink Windmill. But Grotbags was a real source of terror for me at the age of 6. Weirdly, though, I couldn't stop watching her. I never missed a show. Watching Grotbags was both thrilling and tantalising. I felt really safe at home in my living room, but utterly terrified at the same time. It made me feel giddy, and I was kind of obsessed with that feeling. That's kid-friendly jeopardy. When kids feel their buttons being pushed like that, they lean in and engage. They want to see, can I be brave? Can I stick this out without hiding behind the sofa? Can I overcome the fear? Most stories have jeopardy. will we make it? Have we got what it takes? You're building resilience with Jeopardy. And I think kids are hardwired to pay attention to anything which challenges them a little, but ultimately makes them stronger. So Jeopardy is our next ingredient that goes in our fairy dust. Oh yes, look at that. This could overflow. That wouldn't go down well. Okay, our next ingredient in the fairy dust is movement. So I was a massive fan of Lizzie Webb, also known as Mad Lizzie Webb, who did the Get Yourself Moving high energy slot on TVAM in the 80s and 90s. Anyone remember Lizzie? Yeah? I mean, she was a bit Marmite, wasn't she? You either really, really liked her or it was like, whoa, what is this? This is weird. I was also heavily influenced by this other lady on the screen who is my mum and is Reading's answer to Jane Fonda. Yeah, here she is, Monday night, yeah, casual, ready to head off to her aerobics class up at St Nick's Hall in early. Yeah, bless her. So the jackpot for me as a kid was copying someone on the telly doing moves. It was an invitation I couldn't refuse. It felt good. And I think it still feels good for kids today. Otherwise, I don't think they'd ask to do Cosmic Kids. It's the same in animation. It's the jumping in muddy puddles in Peppa Pig. It's dancing, wiggling, pulling silly faces. It's trying to do that with your hands. Do you want to try and do that? It's the Spock finger, the forefinger, the Spock finger, the little finger. Yeah, like coordination challenges, trixies, yes. It's freezing like a statue. Kids have tons of energy, and it makes sense to direct some of that energy into movement. Physical embodiment sends engagement levels off the charts. Your mind and your body are both occupied, so there's not much room for anything else. Now, I'm hugely passionate about movement. Yes, it's an amazing engagement tool, but it also has the power to make screen time both healthy and active. It can positively affect someone's fitness, their strength, their ability to balance, their coordination, their mobility. And when we move, we release these feel-good hormones, endorphins. So not only does it feel good physically, it feels pretty amazing mentally too. So getting kids moving, participating, getting them physically embodying what's going on in the screen is definitely an ingredient that goes in our fairy dust. There it is. So, next ingredient is performance tools. Yes. So this is me. Here I am, aged about 7, playing the role of Fagin. I'm in my happy place right here, waiting for my cue to go on stage, really excited about it. I loved copying, pretending, and moving. So much so that I was in every Amdram group, every school play, and joined every drama club until eventually I got into Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, where I relished learning all of the performance tools a person needs to be engaging. It's a place where I learned how to speak, to use my voice, to learn how to use a variety of pitch, pace, pause, power, inflection, and tone. Or to put it another way, how to use a variety of pitch, pace, pause, power, inflection, and tone. All the ways that you can roll around in telling a story, bringing a story to life, playing characters, and making people believe you are who you're pretending to be. Now, a lot of this comes down to practicing techniques over and above raw acting talent. A key thing I learned was how to relax in performance. Be as if no one is watching you. A brilliant little technique I learned, and we can try it now, is the jaw shaker. If you're an actor, any actors in here? Come on, you'll know this one. Clap your hands. Open the mouth a little bit. And then shake the hand. Make a noise. Releasing all the tension from this part of your face, this part of your body where you hold so much tension. You can do a big yawn if you want as well. That's really nice. Wait, so pulling faces is pretty liberating, isn't it? And it's that thing of letting it all hang out, being as if no one is watching you. It's like you're 6. It's like you're that age before you get when you become aware of others thinking things about you, or you're worried about what others think about you. There's nothing to be afraid of. There is no such thing as foolish. You can be silly. You can play. And it makes sense to tune into that when your audience are kids. I think you're most engaging when you're comfortable and relaxed. There's no pressure. And it creates reciprocity in your audience too. When you're comfortable and relaxed, the kids you're entertaining or teaching are comfortable and relaxed and therefore more engaged. When you're having fun, genuine fun, then the kids who are watching are having fun and are more engaged. And if you really believe in what you're doing in that moment, the kids really believe in what you're doing too and are therefore more engaged. So we're putting performance or performance tools in our fairy dust as our next ingredient. In it goes. It's getting quite full. It's fine. Okay. So our next ingredient is teamwork. Now, I know you're not actually 6, Joe. So it's fine, I'm not weird. And I know everyone else isn't 6, but I bet when we were doing that little witch fandango a while ago there, I bet there was a little part of you that really wanted to do the moves, really wanted to show the witch that you knew them, that you could stop her in her tracks. Well, right there was your inner 6-year-old. So when a kid spots a chance to be a hero, they grab it with all their might. They want to show you they can do it. They want to prove they've got what it takes. When they see that they can play a role in solving a problem, when there's a tangible consequence to their actions, they want to step up. So I always try and make kids feel like we're all on the same team. Like there's a job to be done, and it matters that we all play our part. And my primary tool for doing this is language. I use language that makes them feel included. Very simply, I use collective pronouns. Us, we, our, let's. Much of how kids feel included is down to how we talk to them, as equals, with respect, like they know this stuff already, like they had the idea. So in Cosmic Kids, I'll say, we all know how to do this, don't we? And then I'll go on to explain the thing we all know. And it's like teaching without telling. The kids don't feel like they're being told. They're being nudged. They're being reminded. So much of a kid's day is being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it. So when they get a break from being told, they have some agency. They have some empowerment. They have some command, and they want to get involved. And when you couple that with a kid's amazing ability to suspend their disbelief and dive into their imagination, you have an absolute cracker of an engagement tool. So what I'm calling teamwork is the next ingredient in our fairy dust. And there it is. Oh yes, nice silvery bits in that one. Okay, our final ingredient in the fairy dust is wonk. Now I think kids are drawn to the peculiar. I call it wonk. And I view this as an engagement tool. So Lewis Carroll does wonk well. Jabberwocky, pure wonk. Alice in Wonderland, wall-to-wall wonk. A mock turtle who teaches Alice the lobster dance and sings a song about soup. There's Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You've got the Duchess and her frog footman. You've got the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. It's all wonk. Then more recently, you've got Sonic the Hedgehog, a blue hedgehog who zips around really quickly collecting rings. That's got wonk. I think they do wonk well in Japan. Super Mario. There you've got 2 brothers, Italian plumbers, in the Mushroom Kingdom, trying to rescue Princess Peach, who's been captured by an evil, massive, horned tortoise who breathes fire called King Bowser. Yeah, that's got wonk. In the creative process, there's a tension between tidying an idea up, making it all hang together, making it make sense, and out there, divergent thinking that brings a bit of the peculiar, something odd, the wonk. Something that makes you sit up and go, ooh, that's different. I haven't seen that before. Now, of course, you need both, but I think wonk wants encouraging, as it's something that kids absolutely relish. Now, I learned the principle of wonk during an awkward moment at a kids' party I will never forget. It's always the awkward moments, isn't it, when you learn the weird stuff about the way we are, the way we think. So I was booked as Snow White, and I was always dashing everywhere in those days, so I'd dash to the fairy shop to go and grab my costume, trundled with my kids' party kit and caboodle, my parachute, my rubber chicken, I got my magic stars, my balloons, to the kids' party house where the Snow White party was happening. I nipped into the loo to go and get changed into my Snow White costume. I popped a little stocking on my head, get ready for my Snow White bob wig that was there in the box. And as I went to get the box, I realised, I've got the wrong wig. And I saw on the side of the box, it said, Elvis. And I thought, oh, okay, opened it up. Maybe they've put, no, there's Elvis. Elvis is in the wig box. He's in the building. And I looked at myself in the mirror. I've got about a minute before I'm downstairs to do this party. The kids are arriving. It's kind of important. And I've got the stocking on, and I'm thinking, come on, let's just do it. Stuck the wig on, pinned it all in nicely, brushed myself down, got it looking all quiffy, grabbed my stuff and breezed on down there. And I had the best party ever. It was so engaging, so much fun, bringing out all of Snow White's Elvis-isms. You know, there was blue suede shoes, there were hound dogs, there was Heartbreak Hotel, we were all shook up. I mean, it was great. The kids thought it was brilliant, that Snow White's clearly had a really cool haircut and she now has facial hair. And then the parents are just thinking, this is great fun. Everyone's having a brilliant time. And I have to say, I think it made Snow White a heck of a lot more interesting. You know, so that little bit of wonk really worked from an engagement point of view. Now, there's a limit, obviously, to wonk. You don't want chaos. You need some safety, some parameters, some formats, so that we do feel safe in our world. But a little bit of wonk is like catnip to a cat. It makes you pay attention. So embrace your wonk and know that it lives in your fairy dust. Now, a little bit of wonk, a little bit of wonk. Do you think it's all going to go? You see, I haven't practiced this. Oh, hello. Little stamp. Oh, come on. This is high stakes. Oh, my goodness. Do you think it's going to go? I think it's going to go. What if I leave a little... Oh, dear. Maybe that's too much. Oh, come on. Yay! I tried to do the maths, I did. And there we have it. We have made our recipe for fairy dust. There it is. There it is. Should we shake it? Should we shake it? Some people hate that. Yeah, we shake it all up. So now, what now, I guess, is the question. So the first thing to realise, obviously, is that fairy dust is incredibly powerful. Now, with Cosmic Kids, I wanted kids to have the thing I didn't have when I was a kid. I wanted to give kids a way of doing yoga and mindfulness and relaxation in a super fun way so they could grow up into happy, healthy adults and learn about themselves. What I didn't realise was all the other stuff that would happen because we made something that kids could take part in, kids could do, something that the fairy dust unlocked. It's now become something that families do together. It's a family kind of bonding exercise that they love sharing together. We've managed to codify what Cosmic Kids is and how it works to train others how to teach it in their neighbourhoods and communities. We've had 50,000 people through an online teacher training now. It's used in hospitals to treat kids undergoing treatment for life-threatening diseases. This is Catherine. She's 5, and she's now made a full recovery, you'll be glad to know. Here she is. post her treatment, 2021. And just recently at a dance recital. Isn't that really cool? Just out of the woods and much better now. We've been approached by movie studios to make their content more interactive and book publishers. So E1 getting in touch about My Little Pony, that was an amazing opportunity, and Paramount getting in touch about Sonic, and then even a Beatle. That was an email I wasn't expecting, from Paul McCartney to ask if we would make his kids' book more interactive and do a yoga adventure about it. That was pretty insane. So we've also, it's also been done in space by an actual astronaut. I don't know, that's pretty insane. All because of fairy dust. All because it's something you can watch as well as do. It's something you can take part in. Fairy dust makes that one kid at home feel like they belong. It makes them feel like they're on the team, like they believe in the world you're creating. They don't know they're watching a video, or that thousands of other kids are watching it too. So the question is, what will you do with your fairy dust? What do you want kids to engage with? What do you want them to think? What do you want them to try? What do you want them to learn? What do you want them to do? So I would like all of you to go home with your very own bottle of fairy dust. It's one I made earlier. The lovely CMC elves have got them at the back, and so on your way out, I'd love for you to grab one. But before you do, and before you head out, I'd like you to put that fairy dust on a desk or wherever it is you're being creative, and to always remind you to sprinkle it on whatever you're doing, to make what you do genuinely engaging, to get kids leaning in and doing with you. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking part. Thank you to the CMC for having me. Safe travels home. Go forth and sprinkle your fairy dust.